Welcome to What the Sci-Fi, guys.
Welcome to What the Sci-Fi.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jason.
Before we get started here, please hit subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell and share with all your friends.
And this is episode 7.
Episode 7, y'all. Yeah, let us know what the future's like, man. Hopefully the world hasn't gone to hell.
Yeah. So
we got it.
time.
Yes, it is. In order to distract ourselves, let's go and start talking about some sci-fi stuff, guys. Now, it's been a while since we talked a little bit about Star Trek. I mean, y'all know Jason loves talking about Star Trek. So let's talk about Star Trek.
Yeah, we've had 2 episodes now without Star Trek in it. Yeah, so season 1 of Discovery, I think maybe both seasons. No. Season 1 of Discovery went on CBS. I want to say 2 weeks ago. Maybe. Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So it's October 3rd, so just like subtract 2 Thursdays from that. And then so it didn't do very good on CBS at all.
Really?
No, it got like 600,000 viewers that night.
Wow. I was thinking like you were going to say like 6 million or something. But
No, 600,000. Yeah.
That's really low for it being Star Trek, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's doing bad, but by this time, a couple of Discoveries have already been out, and we might do some live on Discovery, live on Mandalorian. So if you're seeing this, you'll go check out the playlist if we do any live stuff. We'll do a live playlist and a regular episode playlist.
Good to me, man. Looking forward to doing some new things, doing the live for that, and also see what happens. And let us know, guys, in the comments too if there's any other subjects you'd like us to talk about, and any questions you guys might have. We can answer them, but we go through a 2-week. We go 2 weeks ahead, so just so you know that you guys have to wait about 3 episodes to actually get your questions answered.
Well, unless we interact on social media, I'm all about doing that. We're gonna be having time now to work heavily on social media throughout this next couple weeks, and
We're not on Twitter, but we're on Facebook and Instagram. So if you guys can reach us there at What the Sci-Fi.
Yeah, and then most likely we'll work on a Reddit this week. That should be next. Twitter, I'm not really interested in unless I'm, shot otherwise.
Never really been a fan.
The only thing is with Twitter is that a lot of the actors are on Twitter, and that's the only thing. But like as far as rumors go, Reddit is where it's at, and then Instagram is like, it's cool. Like it has a little bit of Reddit and stuff. And Facebook, we can interact differently. Each platform we can interact differently. Like Twitter, you can see news a little quicker from what actors and directors say straight to Twitter. So we'll see,
Yeah, we might, like you said in past episodes, we might have to wait until.
Oh, yeah. So that's coming up too for you guys. You're in the future, so it's probably a stressful week for you. I'm sure by now our president has recovered from his fake virus.
I have my own viewpoints on that. Maybe actually put his drug out.
Yeah, I doubt it because he's already been taking it. So I really think that he doesn't like to lose. So if he gets the coronavirus and he actually gets sick and goes to the hospital like he did, he's losing,
Yeah.
and he's showing his supporters that he's weak. So, and the whole game that he plays is that, oh, I'm not weak and I'm tough and blah, this and that. And it's all about being a bully. And that's how he was able to get in office. I might cut some of that out, but, um,
So talking about Star Trek Discovery and also Lower Decks.
right. Those, those shows. Yeah, Lower
Yes.
Decks. I mean, I've been watching it. Right now I'm up to 9, and uh, by this time it'll be finished. So episode 9 was, it was okay, but it was, it was it was a mockery of Star Trek. They're making fun of the old movies, and they go into the holodeck again, and then they do a movie program in the holodeck, and then they make fun of the movie, saying, "Oh, you can beam anywhere in a movie," and that's just saying like that they do different technologies in some of the movies, and uh, it it's just silly. It's hard for me to talk about Lower Decks because it's such a play on the actual franchise. Um, and they've made some mistakes, and they've it's basically a goofy show. It's what's sad about it too is it's nowhere near as good as Rick and Morty or Solar Opposites.
Question: do you prefer watching Lower Decks over Discovery?
uh no, they're both horrible.
They're both. What What about Picard?
No, that's horrible too. If all of them, that's probably my most hated show, because that's the show where they really screw up Picard. They screw up his character. They screw up um, the story of Star Trek. They screw up, like they make it like this weird thing with the Federation where they're like racist and stuff. It's really a frustrating show to watch. It's like really heavily relies on effects, and less of the story and bringing nostalgia. And they brought back Data like in a way that makes no sense whatsoever. And then the storyline. I mean, there's some things they could have done good with it, like if they would have taken and explained the origins of the Borg in some weird way that I thought they were going to go with. I was like, okay, well that could be interesting, but that never happened.
They didn't really run with it.
No, no. Because that was the only reason to have, like, they got they got the Borg there, and then the Romulans working on recovering Borg, so they're taking out their implants and stuff like that. And then they also have this thing they go with where they say Romulans hate artificial life. So, and it's because like way back in their past, uh, there was a prophecy of artificial life destroying all life in the galaxy. So, and that they had made artificial life at one time, and then they decided not to do it anymore. And then I thought they were going to explain that the Romulans made the Borg. That would have been interesting, but at the same time, I'm not sure if it lines up with where Romulans came from, because at one time Romulans and Vulcans were the same race, and then they split off, and Vulcans became more disciplined with their emotions, and Romulans became more war happy, kind of totalitarian kind of aliens.
Right. So, do they explain why the Romulans broke off from the Vulcans?
Yeah, they got into like conflict with them.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably somewhere, but I'm not sure on the
And
history. I can look it up.
they almost have the same technology, don't they?
No, Romulans are way more technological.
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably the most advanced in the galaxy.
Interesting. Now, Vulcan is their home world. Now, what is the planet of the Romulans?
I think they got Romulus,
Romulus.
but and now they're up to the year 2399 in Picard. So the Romulans don't have a home world at this time because their star blew up.
Right.
So, but the thing is that Romulans had many different stars. You know, they had many different systems that they lived in, and the one star blowing up shouldn't have been the end all for Romulans, and that's where Picard kind of screwed up too, because if one star blows up, you're so sure their home world blows like it, it's destroyed. You know, but they have more than that one star. Like the Federation, they have a system of more than one star system.
Right.
Yeah. So,
They have the biggest sector, right?
well,
The Alpha Quadrant.
they're more on the beta quadrant line. They're
Oh, I thought that they were on the Alpha. The Alpha.
no, they're on the edge of the beta quadrant and the and the alpha quadrant.
Oh, I see.
Really, the Federation has a little bit more range than they do because they go like clear over to the gamma quadrant. Um, you know, not that close to it, but they have quite a bit of range and a lot of different species in the Federation. Um, but yeah, they're on the side of the beta quadrant, and then the Klingons are close to where they are too. The Klingon Empire, yeah.
So right now, Star Trek isn't doing so well. And based upon what we talked about before, Paramount is not wanting to make any new movies. And we
Right.
also talked about Seth MacFarlane possibly buying off that franchise and doing it through Universal.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, do you think if that happened, there is hope, and that where do you think that Seth MacFarlane might take it?
Well, if I were him, this is what I would do. I would retcon all three of those shows.
I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, and then I'd figure out a way to retcon the movies, the three new movies.
That's where I'm gonna have to draw the line. Those movies were good.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the new one, the Star Trek 3, the Beyond,
Yeah,
but I watched the first one and the second one.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I'd probably figure out a way to retcon those because there's so much that happens in those movies. You know, like basically those movies retcon the original series.
Okay, I can see your point on that. I mean, yeah, that's true. Now, do you think he would go more into the future or more into the past? Kind of like what Enterprise did.
I think Seth MacFarlane's more of a he's I really feel he's more of a original series kind of person. Um and I think he wanted to be in the 23rd century, like, you know, around Kirk's time. But I mean, there's so much you could do with Star Trek, especially with the slate that they had. I mean, there's if you got a good enough imagination like he does, you know, he could be pretty much anywhere in those centuries, the 23rd, 22nd, 24th, and make it good. You know, you could put a show in between Enterprise and the original series again. I just really think that they should retcon Discovery because you know maybe make it a like a fantasy, like a movie kind of thing that everybody watched Discovery.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
like
interesting.
that's the movie they watched in the 23rd century or something like. Oh yeah, like that Discovery show we used to watch. You know, and that was super silly. Did you remember how they made the Klingons look? You know, they could do something like that, and or uh, or even make it so I don't know how you would retcon Picard because that's such a disaster. Um,
So talking about Enterprise, um, did you like it? Did you kind of what would you rate it?
there was shows that there was episodes I liked. There was ideas I liked. They explain they explain why uh, the Klingons look the way they do, and that's pretty cool. They caught a disease and stuff, and then they bring Brent Spiner on the show, which is pretty cool. They had him as one of Noonien Soon's ancestors. So I don't know if it was his grandfather or something, but he was part of the augmented program, which uh, did genetic engineering on humans and made them stronger, like con species. Yeah. So uh, Brent Spiner, who played Data, played Noonien Soon's ancestor that worked with those creatures, which was kind of cool. Um, there was some things I didn't like about it. I didn't like the fact that they had a whole arc on uh, the species. I forget their name. They start with an X. It's Zindi. Yeah, Zindi species. I didn't like they had these really futuristic aliens on a 22nd century show, and they never show up again in all the rest of Star Trek. So, and then the Doctor also is another species that has never been brought up. I really think that that if you're gonna do a prequel like that of such a big franchise, that you don't put new species, at least not in a acting seat, because uh, there's no need to do that, you know.
Right.
So because where's that species been the whole time in the 23rd and 24th century, but he's in the 22nd century? Unless you're going to say why he got wiped out, or maybe that's the case, you know. Um, I think they could do like they could have explained some origins of they tried to explain some origins of different technologies, like the transporter wasn't a main technology in the Enterprise. So it was just getting invented, and all it did was transport cargo. So that was pretty cool. And I like the kind of Navy ship look of the Enterprise. And then towards the end, it starts to look a little like a original series ship.
See, that's what the Discovery needs to do. That they need to tie that in.
Yeah, but it looks so much more futuristic than all the other ships.
And I get that they want to, um, flex their muscles and be able to show different technologies that and different things they can do now than they couldn't do back in those days. I get
Yeah.
that, but I mean, at the same time, you need to um, have that fleshed out story of the people, even the costumes that they were wearing as well.
Right.
So
No, and I agree. They made it's a little more flashy, and it's kind of Discovery's. Discovery and even the J.J. Abrams movies, they're more in line with what it would probably look like from here going forward. But you do another, in another 50 years, are we're gonna look at those shows and be like, oh, that's old. That's old looking. Like we wouldn't wear those clothes in the future. It, that's the thing with sci-fi and fantasy is that, especially when you're talking about the future, there's no real way to say, oh, this is what's gonna things are gonna look like in the future.
Right. And I gotta tell you, man, I really hope you're wrong about J.J. Abrams going to franchise and just completely demolishing it and everything because he did that with Star Trek, he did that with Star Wars, and now he is getting more involved with the DC universe.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, and I really hope you're wrong, man.
And that's a good segue to comics because we have there's a lot of rumors of different actors playing different people in Marvel, and now a lot of I've watched a lot of influencers talk about uh, them not wanting to see act, them not wanting to see DC actors in Marvel movies and vice versa. Um, I agree with that. I think that's kind of weird. I don't like seeing uh, DC characters as Marvel characters. Like you got to pick one because, but I've seen, but I have hopes for like say Jared Leto, right? He's going to be playing Morbius next year, hoping that he does a good job in Morbius because he played a horrible Joker. You know.
Like his whole gangster kind of vibe that he had going. Morbius, I've never really been much of a Morbius fan, but I am excited to see like new villain movies. Like you got Venom 2 that's coming out with Carnage, and I'm thinking they're going the Sinister Six route.
Right, right, because they're talking about they're real heavy on Craven coming out. Yeah.
I really like Craven. Remember in the animated Spider-Man, you had Craven going up against Spider-Man when he became he had that mutation where he was turning into the man spider.
Right. Um yeah, I never liked Craven really.
You didn't really like him?
No. I never liked Craven. I don't think I liked Morbius that much either, but then I think I started to later.
Okay.
And I didn't like the Green Goblin, but I liked the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Um, out of all of the Marvel villains, who did you like the most?
Um Probably like the Lizard.
The Lizard was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even in the movie I liked him in the movie with the
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man with that Andrew Garfield.
He looked a little weird to me. Um, yeah, he just looked a little weird to me.
Mm.
But I gotta say, man, like mentioned before, but Venom. I love Venom, and
Yeah,
I'm
oh yeah,
really
Venom's cool.
excited to see just the route they're gonna take with Venom and Carnage going up against each other. Like I said before, man, it's a good time to be a fan. We came these fucking movies that we have never gotten before, and villains are even the anti-heroes are coming out more. Um, and it's just a good time to be a fan, man. Like we got a lot of good movies coming out with villains. We got the Suicide Squad. We got Venom 2. Um, and we'll see what else happens news wise when it comes to comics and stuff.
Right.
Do you think now we're still talking about Marvel, but Jamie Foxx, there rumors. I don't think it's a rumor. It's actually fact now that he actually might come back as Electro.
Oh yeah.
So how are they going to tie that universe in?
I don't know. They're talking about bringing back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire with Tom Holland. So all three Spider-Men all together. Um,
I was actually a good fan. I didn't like Tobey Maguire as much. I liked Andrew Garfield.
yeah, I
Like the
like
first Spider-Man was really good to me.
the Amazing Spider-Man with Lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I really liked that one. Um, I liked how they did his origin. It was pretty good. Uh, but I didn't care for the one with Electro, and I I don't think they did Jamie Foxx justice with his character in that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and then they jammed a bunch of people in that one too, right?
They did.
Yeah.
They have the Green Goblin kind of and his character. Do you think with that scene where he's fighting Spider-Man and they're fighting and then Electro kind of like just almost it looks like he disintegrates. But they could spin that off. I heard rumors they could spin that off to where he actually goes into a different galaxy.
Oh,
Into this galaxy probably. Do you think they could probably do that?
who Electro?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could do that. They could bring Madam Web in or something. Which
Dude. Madam Web.
yeah,
She was annoying to me at first.
right.
And then when you start to see her more often, you start to see her character and why she's doing and saying certain things. You're like, okay, maybe she's not a complete um waste of time. So that would be pretty cool if they brought her in.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way the Spider-Verse worked in the animated series was from her. And
And they could also bring in one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. He's second in line, the Beyonder.
he wasn't in the show though, right?
He was in the animated show.
Oh, he was? Hmm.
Yeah, he was in like the last one, I think. He's like omnipresent, and he's not as powerful as can't remember his name. You might have to put that on the video screen, but it's pretty cool to see how we get all these different characters in the new Spider-Verse. You got the 2 extra Spider-Men. Now, are you a fan of Tobey Maguire? Were you a fan of those?
I like the second one more than the first one. The first one was cool because we didn't have a Spider-Man movie before that, But I really didn't care for his acting very much. I'm trying to think. I like Kirsten Dunst in those. That was pretty good. The Green Goblin, what's his name? He did a good Green Goblin. I mean, it was a good movie for the time. It was great, But then the second one I liked that one more because I like the
William Dafoe.
William Dafoe. Yeah, he did a good Green Goblin, and then the second one had Doctor Octopus. That was good. And who else was in that one?
In the second Spider-Man?
Yeah, was Scorpion in that? Or...
No,
they didn't do a Scorpion.
No, they haven't done a Scorpion yet. He's actually a good character too.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. But they didn't. Was Doctor Octopus the only villain in the second one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He was the only villain.
The third one was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't really like Sandman, dude.
Yeah, they ruined that story with Sandman because they made
and then Venom too. Like I was like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like that they brought in the whole spider story with Venom more so than the actual Venom movie that's out now with Tom Hardy.
Right.
But I just like that Venom better in Tom Hardy's Venom.
Oh yeah, it was a better movie, better acting. But they did kind of butcher the story a little bit because Spider-Man gets that suit first.
Right. But you also kind of realize why they did because they didn't have that right to bring that Spider-Verse into that movie at the time.
Right.
Now, it looks like Sony might actually have the legal right to actually bring in Tom Holland in the Venom-verse. We might not get in until Venom 3, but that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, talking about Carnage, did you what do you think of him?
Oh, I've always liked Carnage. Yeah, he was cool.
That was just insane, dude. Like everyone thinks that Venom's scary, but he ain't got nothing on Carnage.
Right. And there's a couple other
He freaks
symbiotes.
me out. He freaks me out more so than the Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's I mean, he's not as an iconic character as Joker,
True.
but who are they saying to play oh, was it supposed to be Woody Allen?
Woody Harrison, I think Harrelson. Woody something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I think he'll do the role justice.
Yeah. He's a little older.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But
He's the guy from he was in
Zombieland.
I didn't see that one. Was he was in Hunger Games?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Venom 2, and we'll see where Spider-Man 3 comes of this, with all the different Spider-Men coming in, and Electro. We're going to be moving more towards our last segment, talking about Elon Musk, y'all.
Yeah.
The real life Tony Stark. He's making the Starship right now to go to the moon first. He's in the process of making the Starship to go to the moon. And he said in this interview that we were reading earlier today, Jason, is that he's planning on taking the Starship to the moon in August of next year. And then he plans on taking the Starship in 2 or 3 years at the most to with people in it to the moon. So, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's cool. Yeah. I mean, it'd be great to go back to the moon and see that happen again. It's been a long time overdue. It's been it was like 40 years almost.
Yeah, we kind of dropped the
50
ball on
years.
that. Do you think that if we just kept on improving our technology now, we would have already been at Mars? Do you think that?
Yeah, most likely. You know, we spend our money in other things like war and worried about the Russians and things like that. That's why if you watch For All Mankind, it kind of is showing that happen. You know?
Yeah, I still need to get to that. I'm gonna hopefully try to see it this weekend. So,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
now it's also saying in this article that we could use this Starship to fly to different areas of the Earth. And on the screen right here, you'll see a little picture of the Starship. And if you zoom in a little bit, you'll be able to see that it could go to New York, Hong Kong in less than an hour
Right.
time. And that's just insane. Like we were talking about it on episode 3. We were talking about Elon Musk's
Hyperloop.
Hyperloop, where it's
Yeah.
going down through the Earth, and you go from New York to LA in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Now it's thinking about this, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, but
Here
this,
to here in less than an hour? That's crazy.
yeah, but that will cost more fuel though.
That's true. Now, in this article, he's talking about how he's planning to make several of these starships to send about a million people to Mars.
Oh, really?
About a dozen of them over the next 9 or 10 years, to take over about 1 million of people over to Mars. Now, do we know how many people this Starship can actually hold?
No.
We don't know yet. Okay. He probably haven't disclosed that information yet. He doesn't really trust us yet, but hey, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could look it up. We'll see by the time this comes out.
Yeah. But it would be pretty amazing to see him make this work. Because like you said, we need to be interplanetary species.
Yeah.
And he said that the sun could engulf the Earth in about 6 billion years. So at least we got time to work on it.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching a video today about the moon Titan, and that moon has oceans, but
Where is this moon, Titan?
that's Saturn's moon. Yeah, so it has like oceans of methane and nitrogen. So that's a planet they think might have life on it. There's some plans for NASA to go there. I think is like before 2034 or something. They're trying to go there a couple times. And so it's possibility of trying to live on Titan, trying to live on Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter, which they think has oceans underneath the ice, and then Mars. So those three spots are places that we could possibly land besides our own moon.
Now let's just hope that if we ever do get to Titan, that we don't come face to face with Thanos, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's a
don't even
little
know if that. I don't
humor
think
there.
that's the same Titan though. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's worth checking into. I doubt it's the same Titan
Yeah. I think it's an actual planet.
because from Titan you'd be able to see the moon. You'll see Saturn.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be big in the sky.
Now, since we're talking about going to Mars and everything, there are several sources here where they're talking about they've actually found more water and lakes on Mars.
Oh yeah, true about.
Yes. So, I mean, like I told you before, bro, it's even if I were to go to Mars, I don't know if I'd have it in me to actually drink that water. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean it's just the main thing with water being on any other place besides here is that there's most likely going to be life in it. you know, so we could come across microscopic aliens. That and with James Webb Telescope launching next year in October now. It was supposed to be March, but it's been delayed quite a few times. There's chance of seeing a lot of crazy things when that telescope launches.
Tell me about this telescope. I haven't heard about it before.
Oh, the James Webb, we've talked about it, I think. I thought we did. It's the size of a tennis court with golden mirrors.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
pretty much a newer version of Hubble telescope.
Yeah, it's an infrared telescope. It should see like infrared rays, and then they're saying that it's supposed to get good shots of other planets and other solar systems.
What?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that'd be pretty cool to see. I'm really excited to see that.
And in reality, what they're trying to do too, like, is see the formation of other galaxies from like the beginning of time is what they're trying to do. Yeah, because the farther you look, it's the theory is that you're looking into the past. So when we look at the sun, we're seeing it 8 minutes in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you look at
'Cause it takes light 8 minutes to travel back to Earth
from the sun.
from the sun.
Yeah. So then they're saying that they're gonna be able to see like the origins of galaxies way in the past.
That would be so tight to see it when once they get that telescope going up and going. Now that's probably you said it would probably come out sometime next year.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I think that's all the notes I had for episode 7. You have anything else you'd like to mention?
No, that's pretty good. We these last 2 episodes have been a little shorter, y'all. We're trying to trying new things, seeing what helps, and we'll be responding to your comments and interacting with you guys on social media. Uh, yeah, like us wherever you can. What the Sci-Fi on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, and Twitter. Maybe next month for Twitter. And happy Mandalorian Day tomorrow, and happy Halloween.
And like we said in our last episode, guys, we probably plan on going live with you guys after we watch the first episode of Mandalorian, because I think Star Wars and Disney Plus are still going to be doing it weekly.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we could probably come back and do Mandalorian tomorrow night. Reaction or thoughts on Mandalorian.
We could do that. We do like a thoughts on Mandalorian. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Then I'll set you up. We'll get everything set up, and then I'll have some of the stuff at the house.
That'd be pretty cool, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming to our channel and listening to us talk. Please hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and like us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Podbean.
And whatever other outlets we're on right now.
Yes. All right, guys. Peace. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to What the Sci-Fi.